What do two people that don't go camping do when they go champing? I'm a little creeped out.
Feels like an escape room. History facts. History facts that you will be treated to.
Fingers crossed we make it through the night. Lesson with Russ.
To make sure we
reached your destination.
have reached our destination.
That doesn't sound right. We have made it finally to St Andrew's Church here in Wroxeter in Shropshire. The directions say that there is a door on the south side which will be left unlocked for us, and so far there is no door. And also, being the wilderness explorers that we are, we had to use an app on our phones for a compass to know which way was south. So off to a great start. So you're probably asking, why are you sleeping in a church? Well, the answer is why not? I mean, we love this kind of stuff. The opportunity to do something quirky, something a little bit different. And we don't have churches in Australia that are this old, so why wouldn't you take the opportunity? I really like the fact that this is a part of the Church's Conservation Trust, so it's a charity, and the money that we pay to spend the night here helps contribute towards the maintenance cost to keep the church alive. So the property behind us is a Grade 1 listed church, so getting stonemasons to repair the stonework and repairing the roof and that sort of thing isn't a cheap exercise. So the money that we pay helps fund those repairs and keeps the church running for generations to come. So St Andrew's Church was built on the Roman site of the Vericonium, which was the fourth largest Roman site in Roman Britain. Evidence of the Romans' presence is everywhere around these parts. The pillars on the gate behind me date back to the Roman era. Some of the large stones in the fence I just happen to be leaning on date back to the Romans, as well as the giant font inside the church. It was a Roman column, it's been inverted and then they've turned it into a font. Some of the church dates back to before the Domesday Book, which is like 1086. Though most of the church, particularly that inside, dates back to around the 17th century. Still very cool though. There's a few alabaster effigies inside and they are pretty incredible. They still have the original colouring as well, so they've not been touched up. I'm a little creeped out by sharing my sleeping quarters with a lifelike effigy. The temperature is dropping, the sun is setting, but it is still warmer outside than it is inside the church. Inside the church at the moment is actually quite chilly. And I'm a bit concerned about how cold it's going to get later tonight. Fingers crossed we make it through the night. The clock has just struck 6 o'clock in the evening, which means that we now have this whole church to ourselves for the rest of the night and until about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So it is time to go and get our things out of the car and move in for the night. Enough stuff?
I found our accommodation. Ta-da!
Oh my god. I may be regretting my life choices at this point.
It's surprisingly comfy.
So on the website it suggests that you bring sleeping bags, but we don't own sleeping bags because we don't go camping. So we brought 2 pillows, 2 king-size duvets and 2 king-size fitted sheets because that's all we own. So we are sleeping on camp beds with real linen. Luxury. So let's go and check out the dry loo. Here is a padlock which we have already unlocked, and one of these this is what they call a dry loo. I've never seen one of these before, but they gave us some very detailed instructions about how to use it. Everyone needs to sit down and there's no water. It's all dry. When you sit, the flap opens and that's where you throw your solid items. And then, yeah, the bit at the front takes all of the liquid. So yeah, the dry loo works well, does what it needs to do, but it is weird that there's no sink to wash your hands, but there is obviously hand sanitizer on the table over here to make everything hygienic. It's just a bit different.
These are history facts that you'll be treated to over the course of our stay. Pulpit is Jacobean with carved panels. Reading desk is also Jacobean. along with original colouring. This one is of Sir Thomas and Mabel Bromley. He was the Chief Justice of England. So this is the east window, which depicts the 12 apostles. And then the coat of arms at the top is from the 17th century and is of the Newport family.
So you may notice the change of attire we have going on here. We have got the thermals out and are both wearing fleecy tracksuit and wool socks. So we are rugged up and ready to go. It is dinner time here in Champing Central. There is no cooking facilities, there is no naked flames. So we decided to do it Romy Required style, and we have got ourselves some wine and some DIY charcuterie board. Not my usual standard, but you know, needs must. So this is dinner Champing style. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning. Every part of me hurts. It was a solid hour or two of sleep. The rest of it was spent waking up and counting down the hours until the alarm went off. It's an experience.
It is a gorgeous morning here in Wroxeter. We've got some blue skies, got some birds flying overhead. It's so peaceful out here. I haven't heard a siren in 12 hours. Amazing. There were some roosters crowing earlier, which was something I haven't heard in a while. If you're looking for an alternative to camping and you are, you know, equipped with all of the right gear and enjoy sleeping on camping beds, then you could definitely do champing. I don't know what we could do differently for us to make the experience better. We brought all of the gear that we own, so I'm glad we brought plates, just little plastic ones that I had from a picnic set. So I brought those, and I brought a thermos with us. They do give you a kettle, tea bags, coffee and sugar and hot chocolate, and that's it, and a couple of mugs and 2 spoons. So there was no cutlery, so I wasn't prepared for that. So we have cheese that remains in a wedge because we didn't have anything to cut it with, and everything else we just kind of made do. So I think that having more equipment would be helpful. I'm really grateful we had the plates, otherwise we would have been sort of eating just in our hands. I didn't even pack any kitchen roll or paper towel, and there wasn't any supplied. There's no cleaning products either, and because there's no running water, there's no way to like wash anything. So I brought some wet wipes, and we've been sort of using those, and there's obviously plenty of hand sanitizer as well if that's, you know, if that will do the job. So I think there's room for improvement, but also that would come part and parcel with maybe packing more from a guest's perspective. So it was a good experience, but I am quite happy to go home. If you're interested in champing, I will leave a link down below where you can find out more information from the church's Conservation Trust, and if you have any questions, just leave them down below.
So, summary of my champing experience. It was, from a historical perspective, I thought it was great. Having the whole place to yourself is really great because you get to walk through here and get to read everything, take lots of photos. So from that perspective, I thought it was excellent. I'm not a camper at the best of times, so you know the sleeping arrangements probably not for me. But if you're used to camping, I'm sure it'll be a breeze. Would I recommend it? Yes, I would, because when else are you going to have the opportunity to explore history at your leisure and have the whole place to yourself between 6 p.m. and 10 a.m., which is what the hours were here. Really interesting, really intriguing, and one of the many reasons why we travel.
So that brings our champing experience to a close. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so now because it really helps us out. Thanks for joining, and until next time, bye-bye.